This is a super raw, like, candid video. I'm not even, like, in the right position to be making a video right now, but I'm looking through a lot of my old videos, um, archive streams, archive YouTube videos, videos that are just on my phone of just, me recording myself, you know, and I would just be playing games or be really drunk and just trying to be really funny. I was really funny. I'm not gonna lie. And it's seeing how much I've changed from when I was around 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and a little bit of 23. It's astounding. It's like I've I've grown so much even within like the past year. Um, before I would go on these streams, and the whole goal was just to entertain. Um, I would get really, really drunk and I would try to play Fortnite. And I was just watching these videos. They're funny, yeah, but I just remember like the headache that I would have just exerting so much energy to try to balance playing the game while being funny, while trying to maintain being drunk. And then I would have just headaches after. It was just a pain to make videos. I mean, they were hilarious. I would do streams almost every day, I think. But it was just a big pain. I feel like I was in the middle of watching these videos. I was like, imagine if like I actually blew up. Like, how destructive would I be? And I remember while watching the video, like I remember the day I recorded some of these videos, and there's periods in the game where I would think to myself, like, I feel like I'm doing nothing in life. I feel like this video is so pointless. I feel like a loser doing this. And like, I mean, if I can go back in time and talk to myself back then, it's just like, no, dude, you're making a silly video. Like, stop overthinking it. But I feel like, I mean, I was truly lost in the past, because this was before I recreated or rekindled a relationship with God. And it's so interesting because right now, I'm in a position where I actually have less resources than I did at the time. I'm not working the same job. I'm not working right now. I left that job. I'm not, um, well, I am going to be going to school, but I don't have the same friends. Like, it's a completely different headspace. I essentially am in a worse position, but I feel more grounded and structured. And I just want to say this to anybody who's young. If you think getting a job after high school is the way to go because you don't know what to do, you can get lost and become a loser doing that, or feel like a loser at least. You're not going to be considered a loser by anybody. Everybody's going to be like, oh, good job, you have a job. But feeling like a loser is worse than being a loser, if that makes sense. Right now, I feel amazing. I feel invincible. Like, I can, focus on anything. I mean, I need to restructure a lot of, like, my opportunities, my mindset, and, like, just a lot of habits that I'm still stuck on. But I'm only able to do this because I'm not working that exhausting job that was zapping my energy. It was not just zapping me, physically, it was also zapping me mentally because of the people. And I'm just trying to say, like, that's what was killing me back then, was between 2022 and 2024, I was working this job that I hated. And I didn't want to admit to myself because it was paying decently. And I didn't want to admit to that I I didn't want to openly admit that I doubted so much of myself. That's why I wasn't going to other jobs. I thought that was as far as my intelligence went. I thought it was stupid. Now that I'm talking to more people, now that I'm experiencing more things, and having more interactions, I'm realizing the value and the worth of my intelligence. And if I could go back to my 18-year-old self, I'm like, dude, you're not stupid. Just put yourself out there. And I'm just making this video for anybody who's young right now. Of course, you don't know anything. Doesn't mean you're stupid. I learned, I, given I had to experience life to realize what intelligence is. And nobody tells you what intelligence is because everybody has an ego. But intelligence isn't, oh, your ability to memorize things. Oh, your ability to, well, while it is, oh, your ability to like just know things without like immediately like blah 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 or catch on to things blah 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 blah. Intelligence is not like that. Intelligence is, it may be like that for some people. For many people, it's very different. You may be intelligent in arts. You may be intelligent in psychology. You may be intelligent in just different areas and in different ways. And it's not specifically gated to that. Intelligence is experience. That's it. Crazy, right? If you can understand a concept, let's say, let's pick up something different, because I don't want to just base it off my experience. Video editing, that's a good one. You shouldn't need to go to school for that. You shouldn't need to go to school for music making, because when it comes to video editing, it's literally either there's videos out there that show you how to do it, or you just do it yourself. I recommend just doing it yourself, slash also referencing videos. Like if you get caught up, like, oh, how do I do this? Research it. That's with everything. Making cars, making a podcast. Literally all the information's out there. With the inclusion of AI, bro, if I had AI when I was 18, I would have taken over the world. Probably not. I probably would have still had my insecurities. But ultimately, don't feel like your intelligence isn't enough. Repeat, recycle, keep doing things until you're a master at it. Whatever you want to do, just focus on that one thing and become a master at it. And that's all you need to do. That's it. If you want to go to school, fine. If you want to get a degree, fine. But like, honestly, like, I truly believe if you just dedicate your soul and your mind to just one thing, you can be amazing at it. Honestly, okay, I'll do another big one. That's happened in my life. Sales. I never thought I would have been able to do sales. I'm not doing sales, but I've done interviews with salespeople. Nah, I don't want to say that. I'm not gonna lie. But what a lot of the job entails, I know I can do, because I did work in customer service, and I when I worked as customer service, I think it's important to work customer service. The reason why is this very skill. You learn how to please people without going above the edge. Customer service, you're basically pleasing people, or you're decorating a cake that looks more special than it actually is, but it's really not. You know what I mean? Let me give you an example. So there's a situation, and I'll always reference this even in job interviews, where this lady, there's a miscommunication. She was expecting an item the same day. Now, she interpreted it as the same day, but she was told by my coworker that she was going to receive it the next day. If not, she could get it from another department. For some reason, she didn't compete that, excuse me. So I walked up to her and she starts yelling at me, this, that. I'm like, hold on, what's your issue? I'm acting oblivious. I know what happened. And she's like, well, this happened and this happened. And I was like, wait, let me see what I can do for you. I'm gonna call, the guy at the warehouse real quick, and I'll get back to you. So I call him back real quick. He's like, I already told this lady, blah, 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 blah. you need to get it from another apartment. I was like, all right. So I go up to her, I'm like, you know what? It took me a second, but I know what happened. I'm gonna get the item to you today. Simple as that. You just decorate it to be better. And if you can master something like that, I never thought I was good at sales. I never thought I was good at customer service, but I had the ability to calm down and put down that fire. That's just one situation. A lot of my coworkers, not a lot, one of them told me that I was good at putting down fires. And I know this because I was able to calm down a lot of nurses that were crashing out. Um, but I say this to say, like, I could probably do really well in sales, you know, but I was not able to do that until I was in that position of customer service. You know, if I went into sales right after high school, I would have been, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe some of the skills I learned, you know, throughout my life, I would have like put into sales, but honestly, like, what I'm trying to tie this all into, it's like you spending time in one area that you're really interested in, you'd be amazed how much your brain does workarounds and figures out a way to make it better and work for you, because your brain has a natural state of survival. My brain knew I didn't want to get yelled at by this lady. I want to make the best situation happen. So I knew how to talk to that lady and sauce her up so she wasn't tripping. You know what I mean? So what my takeaway, I guess, from this all is, don't think you're stupid. Intelligence is irrelevant, basically. Don't think you're stupid. If you're interested in something, gain experience in it. Be in that area. Just be around people who are in that very thing. And then be open-minded to change. I was not able to talk to that nurse like that because I was close-minded. I thought of every single possibility in my head of how to make that work. You need to be open-minded. A lot of the guys at the warehouse were unhappy because they didn't know how to really work these ladies up in a positive way. It was either yes or no with them. For me, I just made a cake look nicer than it really was. It wasn't any special. We didn't have any extra ingredient. It just looked a little nicer. And then 4, I don't have a 4, but honestly, I guess something I want to tell myself is like, you can restart anywhere, anytime, if you feel comfortable doing that, you know. The reason why I feel that way is because I'm 24. Usually people around my age are already switching up and doing things differently. But if I was younger, like 22, I mean 21, I did make a switch, a change. But feel open to changing at any direction, and never ever, I guess this would be 5, never go back to the same old place you were because you were comfortable and you knew how it worked. You're gonna get the same traumas, you're gonna get the same mindset you used to have, and you're not gonna grow. I mean, I did grow just because I was put in a position where I could do more, but the people stayed the same, and I kind of outgrew them, and I didn't like being there, which is good. You want to grow, you want to ask questions, you want to be open-minded, you know. Honestly, just going back on that topic of like, if I stayed streaming, like, imagine how it would have been like if I became popular. Like, every time I would stream, I would get drunk, you know. And it's just like, if I blew up, it's just like, oh, I have to get drunk to really become a content creator. Probably would have been like, I mean, I was smart enough not to become a local, but I probably would have been made a laughing stock. Or like, I've seen this in comedians' careers where like, they heal as a person, and their fan base is like, "Oh, you lost the funny. You stopped being funny." And it's just like I would have hated for that to happen to me. So I'm glad that these videos are on here and I had this opportunity to reflect. But I like how these videos never blew up. I like how I never blew up. I've been wanting to become a YouTuber since I was like 13 or 12. I'm 24 now. I don't want to be a YouTuber. I want to keep to myself. That's just me. Um, I want to work for YouTubers. I want to work for content creators. That's my goal. Like I want to get paid. Man, if I'm in the background just recording, I let me do that. I don't want any credit. I just want the bank. I just want the bag that you're getting from it because I know it's big. So, yeah, guys, I don't know. Point is, uh, final thought, don't underestimate yourself. Find yourself, go into a career. If you don't like it, quit, find another one. And invest in yourself. Invest and save. Save no matter what. Save hard. Save even if it's $50 a paycheck. Just do it. Don't touch it at all. I bought so much stupid things. Those impulse buys you're gonna throw away. I'm not gonna lie. Don't impulse buy until you feel good. If you have a phone and you have a PC, you're good. That's it. That's all you need. If you need a better bed, though, get a better bed. If anything that helps your quality of life, like sleep or like vitamins, invest in. And if you're young, get your family to invest in that so the whole household has it. But other than that, I mean, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna post this video. Honestly, I've never really posted on this channel because I never really cared to. I was actually a perfectionist. I wanted to make sure all these videos are edited and all this other crap. Honestly, I'm just gonna post this raw because it's not that deep, and only friends are on this account. So, yeah, sorry for doing that. I just had a hair in this area, but yeah, no. To whoever's watching this, I'm gonna send this to people who need to see it too. But I thought that was an interesting reflection on my behalf. And I might start posting vlogs. It may be on this channel, it may not be on this channel, but I wanna broadcast my progression as a person. And watch how much of a fool I was in those last videos. I was very silly, dude. I didn't care, which was fun. And I feel like that's important too. Just be silly and have fun. But anyway.